Hey everybody, Mr. Troy here. The purpose of this video is to help you with Quiz 3 on Khan Academy. I hope it helps. It's time for math with Mr. Troy. Quiz 2 or 3, I don't remember what number it is. This quiz has one particularly difficult problem on it, and I'm going to show you two different ways to solve it. The first way is a way that will give you one solution, and then we'll let you find the others. The second way is more of an Algebra 2 sort of way, but I think it's really interesting, so I'm going to show it to you anyways. Okay, a lot of times when I'm stuck, I'm going to start by expanding things. Now, this is definitely not always the best approach, but if you don't know what to do, you need something to do. So I'm going to start by expanding this. I'm going to FOIL this out. I'm going to get x to the fourth plus 6x squared plus 9 plus 21 equals 10x squared plus 30. This right here came from doing x squared plus 3 times itself. I'm going to combine my like terms. So I get x to the fourth plus 6x squared plus 30, ooh, very interesting, equals 10x squared plus 30. With quadratic equations, a lot of times we're going to move everything to one side. Since I don't really have anywhere to go with this, I'm going to try that. It's not actually a quadratic equation, it's a fourth degree equation, but I'm going to try. I'm just going to move everything to one side. It's just something to do if you don't know what else to do. Now, there's a bit of a stroke of luck on this problem, and it's that the 30s equaled each other. So I'm going to get x to the fourth minus 4x squared plus nothing equals 0. Because this question says, find me one solution, I can look at that and I can say, well, if I plugged in 0, 0 to the fourth minus 4 times 0 squared is 0. So x equals 0 is one of my solutions. And if that's all I care about, then I can type in 0 and I'm done. Okay? If we wanted to go further, we could say, well, there's a greatest common factor here. Each one of these is x squared times something. X squared times x squared minus 4 equals 0. Oh, and by the way, x squared times x squared minus 4. Well, x squared minus 4 factors to x plus 2 times x minus 2. So actually, I know all of the solutions. Those are all of my solutions. So that's one way of approaching the problem. Really, the key piece there is that this 0 comes out of the fact that there's no constant term there. Cool, that's our first approach. Here comes the second one. The second approach is to use what's called quadratic form. And at first, this is really tough. But it's really neat once you figure out how to do it. So the reason I would think about doing this is just because I see 10 and 30 and 1 and 3. Oh, those are the same pattern. So I'm just going to start by saying that this is x squared plus 3 squared plus 21. Nothing changing there. But the other side is 10 times x squared plus 3. Now this is an advanced approach. This is, in my mind, more Algebra 2 than Algebra 1, but that's okay. Here's what's cool about that. This is something squared plus 21 equals 10 times that thing. So I'm taking x squared plus 3, and I'm squaring it, and I have 10 times x squared plus 3. So this is just something that I could factor. And all of a sudden, if I take out that x squared plus 3, and I just stop thinking about that, and I say it's just something minus 7 times something minus 3, that means that that thing has to either be 7 or it has to be 3. So x squared plus 3 equals 7, or x squared plus 3 equals 3. So x squared equals 4, or x squared equals 0. Well, how could x squared equal 4? If x were to be plus or minus 2, and how could x squared be 0 if x were equal to 0? Same solutions as before. Now, some people would write this like this. If I write it that way, what you're looking at is something squared minus 10 of that thing plus 21. What multiplies to 21 and adds to negative 10? Now, this is a really tricky approach. I would totally call this algebra 2. But if you figure that out, that's pretty darn neat. Cool. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoy that quiz.